Welcome, everybody. Strength Hammer episode 31 with the currently on top Cleveland Browns fan, Neil.
How's it going?
You're more subdued than I am, I see. Coming in hot.
No, I don't get too. I don't know. So my team was up 14 points with a minute 50 last week and somehow lost the game. So I don't get too excited about this kind of stuff.
Nah, I mean, we're more into the Premier League for our competition.
Hmm.
This is just fortuitous that our teams are playing on the night we're recording
Hmm.
for American football. So yes, if you're playing along at home right now, there's 8:14 left in the second quarter. Pittsburgh 7, Browns 13. So we'll keep you posted as we record here tonight, everybody. Don't you worry. So Neil, how you been doing?
Doing good. Started playing around with some corn lists just on a whim the other night. So,
Ooh, that's a fun
you know,
whim.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm anxious to give it a shot here someday if I ever get back into the hobby shop again. Um, find a game. I'm gonna give that a little fun shot. I know it's just gonna be a fun list. I don't think it's gonna be anything that actually would win in a tournament, but
Well, with the new battle pack and the ability to get a second rank of bloodletters attacking, if you got the bloodletter style, might be pretty
yeah,
good. Sounds juicy.
yeah, yeah. I've got 30 of those bad boys, but they're not 20 in my list. So we'll see how it goes. I never. My problem with corn is I have a hard time wanting to put anything in there that makes them move quickly. so
Oh yeah, I don't like the whip
so they kind
guy
of plot
either.
across, and somebody looks at that those 20 blood letters and goes, boom, and then they go away real fast.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hey, one day Corn will get a new book, and all will be right with the world. Let's knock on this wood right here. What else? What else you been doing on for a hobby? 'Cause, I saw a certain banner make its
oh yeah,
reemergence within the uh, Prince Galadriel's home.
yeah, yeah. So I got some old, super old high elf transfers from a really quality guy named Chuck, and
Yeah. Well, I got those
I,
from a even better quality guy named Norm.
oh,
So,
there you go. so yeah, I threw some transfers onto my banner, which is supposed to pose as the banner of the world dragon. I even at the icon at the top is in fact the insignia for the world dragon. So
nice.
yeah, so I think it looks pretty sweet.
Heck yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Banner the World Dragon. If you don't like Banner the World Dragon, then that's fair.
Yeah. I might run it as something else just so I don't lose too many friends. But hey, if this is my only shot at a Warhammer Fantasies eighth you know tournament, then you know what, I'm gonna go all the way in. So
I know I'm a little jealous with this Terrathian Invitational being eighth edition. I know I'm the one that made it all this, but I can't go hard with my high elves like you. So I got to go with my dark elves so I can take my Terrathi conversion and start crafting her old world story. So I got to find the nastiest list I can. So
Mhm.
far I got a cauldron with Hellebron on it, 50 witches, and Terrathi as a hag BSB.
Mhm.
So it feels juicy. It feels juicy. We'll see how it plays out. It's definitely going to be a theme for like a K-Night theme. Like, I mean, I might as well stick with what I know, right?
Mhm. Sure, of course.
But yeah, how's your prep coming? Painting going well for your high elf army?
Oof, yeah, so yeah, I've lost a little bit of steam. I've got
It's
too
fair.
much Total War of Warhammer that's going on in my life right now. It's also my house is in shambles right now. We just kind of finished with this renovation, and we can now finally put the house back together. So
Nice.
at some point, when I stop working and have a moment, I'll actually get my hobby desk back, and then I can actually move stuff away from this computer. Like you know how a hobby desk looks, right? Paint strewn everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Some like bits here and there, right? Imagine that on the computer desk that both you and at times your wife works at.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank God for
it's
patient wives. That's all I gotta say.
it's not ideal.
Yeah.
So that's
Uh,
my excuse anyway.
if for some reason my wife Lauren or your wife Amy listens, thank you for putting up with us.
Right.
Especially disappearing once a week for 30 minutes to an hour to ramble on and pretend like we have a serious podcast going on.
Hmm.
That's great. I'm actually pretty thrilled right now. Um, so I have two hobby desks, essentially. I have my prep station, which has this laptop, my microphone for recording podcasts, and that's where I'll keep my next Warhammer project, or Wargaming project, I should say. Um, and for a long time, I had an entire Horse Heresy army just sitting there in the way, bothering me because I couldn't start it because I didn't have the time. But thankfully, every other project's out of the way. I'm still staring at the Stormcast army. It's sitting on a extra table until I get the box to ship it out to the next Warhammer US Open event. But I got my Horse Heresy Army project fully in the works now. We're building, boys and girls. We're building, and it feels so good to have an empty prep desk and a full hobby desk, like where I'm actually like
Yeah.
building and painting.
I'm all built, so I just gotta. I actually have some commission stuff that I really got to get done here now too. So I really got to get working on that.
There you go. That's you'll get it. I thought I would take. I mean, I'm taking my time with this Dark Angel army. There's zero rush. I have no urgency to paint this army, so I'm enjoying it. Like I'm actually adding every belt, little pouch, and all the stuff that most people skip because they don't have time for it, and I understand that. But I'm putting everything on. I'm bitsing out all these guys. I'm gonna take a long time, but I did also commit to my next army project.
Which is
I haven't bought anything yet. I just have this rule set here. So my Wednesday night crew, the Barn Owls, shout out to them. We're the ones that do weird, fun stuff. And this was my idea. I can't say it wasn't, but we're doing Napoleonics.
I got nothing for that. I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Interesting thing though, it's odd timing. So it's gonna be 28 millimeter. My idea, I called dibs on France because it's what you do. Everyone else just choose the other.
In a game of Napoleonics, Chuck picks Napoleon.
Yeah,
It's a power move right there.
it's a strong power move. I
What you want to see?
but interestingly enough, fairly recently, this is a happenstance actually. This is like so Norm, my shop owner, Toy Soldier Gallery. He loves historical war games. He's excited that I'm going into it, and his biggest favorite I think is Napoleonic. So like this is like his child finally fully growing up. He also personally knows the Perry twins, Alan and Michael, who, if you know Games Workshop history and models specifically, you'll recognize those names. So they still make miniatures. I'm not going to say that they're the quality of what Games Workshop is, but like they have their charm and they have their style, and it works for historical wargaming. They got together with a little rules writer who used to work at Games Workshop called Jervis Johnson,
Wow.
and recently put together, and it's still in beta. It's a rule system called Valor and Fortitude, written by Jervis Johnson with the Perry twins. And since Norm knows them, he got sent the link, and they said, "Hey, well, why don't they, play and give us feedback?" So I guess I'm playtesting another Jervis Johnson game. Don't tell Games Workshop. That's not like a full playtest thing, but it's just like I got the whole rule set here. I think you can actually probably get it. I think the rule set is free. But the nice thing about it, being a Jervis Johnson rule set, there's probably gonna be a lot of similarities to Warhammer, which means I'll just feel right at home.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm that's a early next year project though. I'm not sure if I complained to you in our little chat group, Neil, but I had to go buy a $800 fridge, and then my one car is in the garage for possible transmission issues. So,
You haven't found that out yet, huh?
yeah, oh yeah, well the garage I go to, it's a local place. They're wonderful. I'm always going to go to them as long as they're open. They're a little backed up right now. One of their guys is out sick with the flu, so it's like, okay, you know what? I have two cars. Let me drop it off. You check it out when you check it out. Like I want to know how much it's going to cost, but I also don't want to know how much it's going to cost because it could be oil change or it could be $1,500.
Yeah.
Anyway, So eventually I'll start Napoleonics, but I just right now I have the rule set. I might grab another book to like figure out like because I'm gonna go like full red. I'm gonna choose my regiments. I'm gonna do the paint schemes exact. We're gonna go full tilt on this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be slow grow, and it's because there's nothing else in the future that I'm going to need to actually build a whole army for. So there we are. Napoleonics up next.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that news, I'm trying to think. Oh, I guess the day this comes out, happy autumn equinox to the northern hemisphere. I guess spring for the
Oh,
southern.
oh, and it
Um,
came in too. It's nice and
oh
crisp outside. It's hoodie weather. It's good
yeah,
stuff.
I went out to go riding. Oh yeah, I don't know if I put this on the podcast. I know you know. But I'm learning to ride a horse and technically play polo. Um, but I was swamped with work all day today that I didn't get a chance to even go outside and breathe fresh air. So when I finally did, when I was going over to the polo field, um, I stepped outside. I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell happened? This is
Yeah.
wonderful." Grabbed a
Oh,
hoodie. It's toasty. Oh man, I want like I won't lie. I'm baking chocolate chip cookies tonight. We're just gonna live in this fall weather while we have it for a few days.
yeah.
But yeah. But since autumn's here, the beard's coming back for everyone on my Twitter and Instagram that showed me love for the beard when it was around last year. It's gonna start its comeback. Technically, from this afternoon when I showered and shaved because I'm not gonna shave again till a while.
Beard's coming back. Sober September almost at a close.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Sober
Almost
September's
forgot.
going well. I mean, uh, my little go to was non-alcoholic Guinness whenever I really like wanted to have a beer, and like it's interesting because I'd go to like club night with Warhammer, have two of those, and not feel and like but it's weird like it tastes like a beer, it tastes pretty good, but not feeling the thing, and also watching everyone else sometimes get really drunk accidentally while I'm completely sober. It's been nice. It's been nice. Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a good sober September, but yeah, let's gonna have a fun October. I can tell you that. Trying to think outside of fitness. I'm just doing my powerlifting cycle as usual, getting back into that program. How about you, Neil? Anything exciting with that or
Nothing on that, man. I've been just working lately. So that's my newest excuse.
well,
So,
hey, as a man of family, you take care of what you need to take care of. And by the way, Pittsburgh Steelers 14, Cleveland Browns 13,
yeah,
2:17
yeah.
left in the
That's
quarter.
it. That's why I don't get too excited, right? Right there.
If I'm winning, I'm gonna rub it in. If I'm losing, I'm gonna point to my past trophies as a true Pittsburgh fan will do.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, I've been doing that for Browns fans. Been doing that for what 70 years now, something like that.
Mm,
It's getting close to that now. So
Hey, before we dive into like the topic tonight, I forgot to do this last week, and I did apologize to our main commenter, Chris Crane. But listener questions. Let's see if we have any real quick here. Hmm. No, that's no. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold the horses. We got a new message here. Now, I'm gonna steal this one because this was actually put on the last Big M's Power Hour from
oh,
Radio Free Hammer Hall, which is
I
I've
thought we had a live question call in
I
right
thought
there.
we did too. I see. I don't look at them till it gets to here, because I want it to be a surprise. Um, Paul Conti from I believe that's Radio Free Hammer Hall says narrative is hard mode. That's what I've been saying in reference to what Matt and Cole were talking about in their last episode, which was last month's. This month's is not happening. There was an audio issue, and Matt is also working like a dog, so there'll be a month off of Big M's Power Hour. But hey, you got the weekly Strength Hammer podcast happening. So what else do you need? You don't need
Well,
Matt.
doubly a shame because it was the best episode to date.
Yeah, that's what he said too. Were you on it?
No,
Oh, okay. I was like, well, that would explain if you had a Strength Hammer
it's
core
always the
podcast.
best episode to date.
Yeah, that's true. This is gonna be the best episode to date, even though we've talked very little Warhammer.
Hmm.
But let's
Yeah.
change that right now.
Hmm.
So, recently, as in 4 days ago, I achieved a great achievement in Warhammer. Now I have awards, I have trophies, narrative, competitive. I have accolades. I'm fine with that. I've done well. But this is really special because no one else is ever going to do this.
I gotta say, like, I haven't hit this ever, like ever.
Yeah,
So
I'm kind of lucky that the fact that the battle journal for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Second Edition came out right when I was starting Daughters of Cain. So I literally have every Daughters of Cain game I've ever played cataloged and written down. So I was able to go back and do my tabulations long ago. And then here we are now. I have 145 games using the Daughters of Cain. Now, you may be asking, it's like, wow, that's impressive, Chuck. We know you like it, but hold your horses. Well, just you all wait. I'm live on air. I'm bringing up my tally sheet right now. And unfortunately, Google's taking its time. So I'm trying to just fill for time here.
talk amongst ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah, everybody just think about your favorite thing. Think about your
Think
favorite
about why
tweet.
Corn is actually better than the Daughters of Cain
Yeah,
in every facet, and how Daughters of Cain, as I've said for many years, is just an offshoot of Corn, because the whole blood thing is totally unoriginal, and it was Corn's first. So
well,
yeah, they're like a sub faction of Corn.
what I
So
will
that's what we're talking
say,
about tonight.
what I will say is I had a Corn army first, and I played it, and I didn't like it because I didn't like the play style. And then Daughters of Cain came out, and they play like Corn should.
Yeah.
Well, at least the second
It's
edition.
fair.
Third edition, it's a little different, but anyway, 145 total games of Daughters of Cain. So pre-temple / no temple, which is something you could do before the first battle tome, 6 games. Keltnar, which is a relatively new subfaction, 7 games. Hagnar, the most competitive temple typically in every book so far, 7 games. Calibron, usually the second, or could be tied with Hagnar for most competitive, 8 games. Xanthar Kai, another newer one, 8 games. Drachy Ganeth, which is kind of my second home. That's where I like to lean into when I'm not playing my favorite. 9 games. And I know what you're all thinking right now. Chuck, you've played 145 games. Those are low numbers. And that's right, everybody, because I officially played my 100th game using the Kraith. And I challenge anybody to do that ever.
It's pretty impressive, I gotta say. 100 games, like that's what I was saying when I said I don't think I've done this ever. I don't think I've played 100 games of Warhammer.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
You think so?
I think you have.
My wife just yelled yes.
Yeah, it's this. And like I said, this is just Daughters of Cain. I have my original battle journal before I finished it has all my armies, all the games in it. Now, when that got filled up, I just switched to just recording my Daughters of Cain because I don't care about the stats on anything else. But I know you've played 100 games of Warhammer.
Yeah, that's probably true. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, yeah, we're probably over 100 games. But
to be fair,
I mean much more than that.
I bet you and I have broken 200 easily. I think we have.
No, man, maybe I need to start chronicling this because post COVID, it's like if you were to watch the amount of games I played before COVID, then post COVID, it's like just like a drop off a cliff. It's unfortunate.
Now, like I said, here's the thing too. You gotta keep in mind with this totals. Some were 1,000-point games, some were 2,000-point games, some were competitive, some were narrative. There is some other ones in there that were like a weird mix. So this is literally anytime I put an army on the table, and they were the Kraith. So, or just Daughters of Cain, period. So, and the good news is, I still, from when it was pre Battle Tome, I had a 3-2 win-loss record. Battle Tome 1, 37-30. Battle Tome 2, 23-22. And there were some draws, but obviously, like I have a winning record because draws just even out. Now, Battle Tome 3, 7 wins, 11 losses. So now that I've hit that 100 mark, I'm going to switch and bring some competitive BS and get that back up to a positive.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
I gotta pump those numbers up. But the The nice thing about this,
Mm,
because this isn't about just how great of an achievement this is. It's the best achievement in Warhammer, all right? And I don't care who you are. Like yes, I have a Warhammer Hero medal, and this is the best achievement in Warhammer.
I was gonna say you can pass that my way now that you've hit this achievement. You can just kind of throw that over this way. I'll
It,
take care of it for you for a
I
little while.
mean, I think
Polish it for you.
all my friends, close, really close friends, deserve a Warhammer Hero medal for putting up with me. But like I said, the neat thing about it is like it's just like the love of an army and it's the love of the thing. Now I went super niche with it because that's just what I am. But you
Hmm.
know, and I think you kind of gave hints of that earlier, Neil. But like, what's your favorite? Like, if you were to do 100 games with an army or even a sub faction army, what would that be?
I would probably do corn, honestly. And it's
Mm-hmm.
funny because I kind of fell into that because when I originally bought into Sigmar, I probably told this story before on the podcast, but I got the original box, right? And it came with Corn
Yep.
Stormcast, and a guy that I know, Dave, um, was playing Stormcast, and more often than not. And so I just decided to start going with the Corn army. And really, that Age of Sigmar one, when like the rules were off of everything, and then you could just like take these blood secretors and all this and just start pumping attacks like through the roof. I mean, the Timmy and me just like screamed, was like clapping for joy. I just loved it. I remember playing Tom from Warhammer Weekly. I was playing Tom Lyon's Nurgle, and it might have been the second AOS tournament at Adepticon, and his like did this whole thing where like if he rolled a six, it was a mortal wound back from any attack, right? So it was the very antithesis of what my army did. Like he wanted me to attack a lot, and boy howdy did I. And I just watched my army kill itself, which was also actually kind of a fun moment too. Now that I think back on it,
Hey,
so.
I'll get you with corn. Like every time I played, even though like the play style wasn't my favorite, like it was still fun. Like anytime a model died, I'm like mine or yours. Oh, blood
Mhm,
type. I got a blood type. I get to maybe do something. It's great.
mhm.
It's great.
Yep. It's a very Timmy army. It rewards you regardless of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So you come out with a lot of moral victories. Not so many actual victories, but especially these days. But for a minute in Age of Sigmar one, man, Corn was holding itself down there a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some solid corn lists still running around. But I know what you mean. Like it was a big bad bully for a while. Like I said, until Dodgers Kane came out because I remember our Adepticon game.
yeah, not good, not good. Didn't go well for me. That game I was actually on the bottom table there for a while. So yeah,
That was that was
but
I don't but still like I've had Daughters of Cain. I have a good record against Corn, thankfully, just because I can usually outfight them, which feels wrong. So like I said, hopefully we get that updated. I'd like to see you pull out Corn again.
mm.
Um,
I've kind of started dialing back too with my armies. You talk about having that one love and everything, and for a while there, especially as we were kind of chugging through like second edition, I'm like, oh, this would come out, I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I would get a little bit of this, and then I'd make an army out of that, and then before I knew it, got 8 different faction armies, and so I
I'm
don't know,
staring at
like
my
now
wall.
I'm
Yep.
just trying to like because my hobby budget isn't there anymore, right?
Yeah.
I'm I'm kind of zeroing in. I'm like, I don't know the rules for all these other armies that they're just kind of sitting there, gathering dust on my shelves right now. And so I don't know. I'm tempted to offload down to one, maybe two different armies and pull a chuck and just really go all in with that one, regardless of how good
No,
or
no, no, no,
bad
no,
they
no.
are.
See, that's not a Chuck move. Chuck move holds on to his
Yeah,
armies, so
yeah, that's true. That's
because
true. Yeah.
you had all those high elves that you offloaded, and now I gifted that high elves back to you
Yes.
because I love you.
Yes.
So
Yep.
like you
So
don't pull
that's
that mistake. Don't sell it because you may want
that
it.
just proves that if you love something, you have to let it go and it'll come back to you if it loves you back.
he Here's the rule I've always followed. Mostly if I, if if it's painted and based, I keep it.
Mm,
This is and what Norm always told me from my store. You don't need to feed them. They don't complain about being in a box. You
mm.
stick them in the corner somewhere and forget about them if that's what you need to do. Now,
Yeah.
different obviously if you need to sell it because you need money for whatever reason. I get that. I'm not gonna ever, and like I get there's people out there that just like to sell their armies when they're done with it. Doug from Two Plus Stuff, he loves it. I don't know. I get too attached in the painting process somehow. Um, Listen, the only time I have ever parted with painted models was literally to give it to some like young kid to like, cause like I might have like 500 points of Sisters of Battle or 500 points of like Space Wolves. I think 'cause I had like random 40k stuff that I did just because I had whims, and I'd
Hmm.
just give it away because it's like I'm not gonna do this army, and it makes this kid get a great start to an army. Like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
but I have sold stuff that's um primed, and I lost interest in a project. But if it's fully painted, I keep it, and then it's
Yeah.
now. But
That's
I
yeah.
also understand because I'm looking. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I see like 18 armies
Mm.
just from where I'm sitting.
That's a couple. That's a couple.
It's a few. And to be fair, like some are 40k, some are fantasy, and some are Sigmar, obviously. But yeah, the only one that's not in boxes is my daughter's King, because that's what I always play.
Yeah.
So I understand that, because if you came over to my house and said, Chuck, I want you to give me a solid game using your He Knits and Slanesh, I'd be like, no, I
Mhm.
can't. I could put models down, I could build a list, and I could move them and forget half the rules, and I can do that
Oh yeah,
with every
that's
one of those
really
armies.
yeah. But yeah, I'm liking my corn. I'm liking my Nurgle. Really, my Caradron Overlords was more of a hobby army for me. I
Oh
just really
yeah,
like the ships. I like just what they just the look of them and everything. So it literally, I don't know that it can function on a tabletop, especially not in this. I mean, we'll have to wait till Age of Sigmar 4.0. I don't even think a new book will say what I have made in this edition. So
I
yeah, it was yeah. That's
I
why I pine for the days of AOS 2 when you could actually make an army out of, and I know that you still can, out of kind of whatever like big stuff you wanted.
mm-hmm.
But it's man. I remember playing Roger with that army one time against Daughters of Cain. This was Age of Sigmar 2 actually, and I think he beat me 44-6, something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't good. I think I scored on the first turn because, and then never again after
Yep.
that.
No, I understand. My KO army, I did it because I wanted to paint the army, and I took it to one event. It was a team event with me and Matt went to out for Martin Orlando's team event. So I
Mhm.
took 1,000 points. He had 1,000 points Fire Stars. We were very thematic, and we lost every game
Yeah. Yeah.
badly. But like I said, I enjoyed the hobby progress or progress process of the Keraton Overlords quite a bit.
Hmm.
Like if
Very easy to paint too, much like Stormcast.
well, yeah, they're
And then
easy.
you can always do more with it if you want.
Yeah, they're easy, but I was also able to like lavish upon them a little bit, like make them really pop up. Like I was using like the Vallejo metallics, which are very nice,
Hmm.
very poppy. So it's like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. And it's nice too because like as these memories pop up now, I'm thinking like, oh man, how much I love painting that KO. Like, boy, I should pick up like a random box when I need a break from this 30k army and
Hmm.
just paint up some more dwarfs. Just throw like, and that's also a good place having when you have all these armies, Neil. So why you should keep it, because you can just
Hmm.
add a unit to fill your hobby time if that's what you really want.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
buying a whole army.
Hmm. Yeah. Right now, the one I'm looking at right now is my Soulblight Gravelords. Like I see all those models and I'm like, I don't have it. I don't know if I have it in me to take that to another event and move 60 skeletons and 40 Graveguard and like, whew, man. But they're all painted,
Yeah,
every single one of them.
no, you should keep it. I mean, hey, you should check out my recent review of mini mag trays. So it's strengthhammer.net because those might help your back.
That's
Sorry,
anything to help the back.
yeah, as a sly little plug, self gratification plug.
Mhm. Oh,
Um,
well
no,
done. Well fit.
yeah, but it's I don't know, it's fun. Like I said, I actually am thinking what my next actual project is going to be, for like a one-off thing.
Hmm.
Um, and it might be in the middle of these. horse heresies. We'll see. But do you remember the old, was it Monstrous Arcanum, the Forge World 8th edition fantasy stuff?
You talking like Dogs of War and stuff like that?
No, it wasn't Dogs of War. It was Monsters. It was pretty much like the
You're
incarnates, the
talking about
incarnates
like
of the day.
the Merwyrm and the
Yes.
with the what's the Dreadmaw, all that kind
Yep.
of stuff.
All that.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I have a I don't care. I have a PDF copy of those I found on a website. I was reading through the lore, and they're pretty much just incarnates, which is kind of like, huh, yeah, it's all repeating itself. Neat.
Nice.
But they never made a model for it, but there was the Arcane Phoenix, which was part of the High Elves.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's in Total War Warhammer.
it is in there. So I might either pick up another Phoenix and to just paint it in an arcane style, or look for like a third party type thing. But like I really want to add an arcane Phoenix to my high elves just for something
Mm-hmm.
different. And then it sounds so fun to paint because it'd be like, like a plethora of colors. So, and I said that's something like as a young gamer who was getting into this and had like my little battalion box of high elves, like I heard the rumors of like this amazing arcane Phoenix thing. I was like, oh, I want it so bad. One day I'll get it.
Mm.
I never wanted a Titan. I always wanted an arcane Phoenix, but they never made it. So,
Okay.
gonna
Speaking of Forge World stuff, I don't know. This is a little off topic here, but have you seen the guy who bought the manta, like a $2,000 manta, right, and made a diorama out of it?
Oh yeah, that's Squidmar on YouTube. He's one of those Norwegian
I mean, it's
YouTubers.
gorgeous,
Yeah. Oh yeah. His
but
Yeah. Well, I was say his YouTube. I I wish I could do the same level of YouTube that he does. He does it quality and it's great and all that stuff. But like I can't make the stuff look that good. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
yeah, no, I was just gonna say that was incredible that somebody went and that's probably the most expensive diorama that's ever been made on planet Earth. I'd love to see one that's more expensive than that.
How much is that man? I want to know.
It's 2 grand.
2 grand?
2 grand.
Hmm. Hmm. Not saying I'm going to, but just that's beatable. Like I said, it's just because I don't do the best YouTube videos and that stuff doesn't mean I'm not better than all those YouTubers out there. All right, you hear that, YouTube world? I'm a better hobbyist than all of you combined. All right,
Too
yeah,
funny.
I challenge you all. Just like anytime I see a this okay, we're gonna get serious. Like that's a joke because like they do wonderful stuff and yeah, I could compete with them on the hobby parts of things for craziness, but not the actual YouTube stuff. But anytime I see someone, and Squidmar did this one, he's like painted this whole army in 22 hours, world record. Like I know it's a clickbait title, but I don't care who you are. I can paint an army faster than you, and I will throw that
Yeah,
gauntlet down to anyone. You
that
want to
is.
challenge me? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I've seen Vince put out an army in 24 hours.
I've put out. I okay. You know the fact now. Keep this in mind. This was a night hunt army, and it was not airbrushed. How fast did I do that army, Neil?
Boy, you're going back a couple years on me on
I
this.
am.
But did you do that in a night?
I did that in 7 hours with breaks.
Oh my god. I
And
guess it counts.
yeah, it counts. It counts. But I actually, if I did because technically I had to track my hours for this Stormcast army. I mean, I technically built and painted that army in less than 12 hours total.
Wow. Wow.
So,
They're getting a deal on you.
well, they pay me to do other stuff, so it works. And as long as they keep flying me across the country, can't complain too much.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's I will throw the gauntlet down. I can paint faster than anybody to a decent tabletop level.
There you go.
I now Vince can paint faster than me to his level, which will kick the crap out of all my models for sure. So will Squidmar and so will those other guys. But and I don't use contrast, all right? And I don't need an airbrush. All right? Those Those are crutches. Those are crutches. Get off your crutches, guys. Come on. You get a brush, you get a pot. Don't even mix water into it, all right? You don't need that stuff, all right? It's weakness. It's weakness. You need to become one with that paint, all right?
Oh, I don't know.
Now, you don't need it. You
I don't know.
you build, you
Like,
prime, color block, you detail, you wash, few highlights, base, you're out the door.
it's
That's like,
old school. It's the way it's the way it was done.
you know what? And it still works. And like I said, I challenge. I challenge anyone out there. Feel free. Drop a mention in the comments if you want to see me challenge somebody. Who you want me to challenge. And yeah, and then somehow tag them so they see that and they'll be like, what the hell is this? And they'll be confused and we'll go from there.
Mhm.
All right. I think my feistiness is done. I think I'm out. I think we had a good chat tonight, Neil. Do you have anything else you want to bring to the table? Memories from your beloved corn?
No, I'm just really excited to try this new list. Like I said, I have been down a little bit on 3.0, but I do want to give this a whirl and just see
No,
if I can have a little fun with it.
it's okay,
So
Neil. It's because battle tactics suck.
they destroy my soul.
Yeah, I hate, and I want to. Okay, feistiness. You drug out. You hit another vein here, Neil. All right, another vein of feistiness in the dwarven mind that is my soul. Uh, I've looked at 3.0 and I played Daughters of Cain, so I have the easiest battle tactics, and I've barely dropped any, and I still hate them. I don't know how you people do it with your other armies where it's not guaranteed gimmies. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Grand strategies, love it. Reinforcements, hate it.
One of the reasons why I'm super terrible at this game most of the time is that it's like I don't build my lists for battle tactics. I know that's what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
but I'm like, how can I kill the most stuff? You know,
Yeah, how can I have the most fun? Like I said, but we're
it's
not.
just that's just the Timmy mindset there
Like I
in
said,
me.
we
So
we've never really been top level tournament players. I've tried. I've made some good inlays, but it was in an edition I like with the army I like. That was all everything was clicking the right way. It wasn't that I came to it; it came to me. So we'll see. I'm fine with narrativing for the rest of my life
mhm.
and playing Napoleonics and becoming a shut in and you know.
Play, apparently playing polo on the weekends.
Not on the weekend. Well, yeah, I guess it would be on weekends. I'm not playing polo yet. I'm not that good. I'm still. I can be on the horse. I can have the stick, and I can hit the ball a little bit. All right, but it's not always a guarantee.
Chuck's just going to be out in the woods somewhere firing a bow and arrow. A horse is going to ride by. He's going to Legolas right up onto the top of the horse and then go play some polo. I love it.
There we go. Solved. And I'll still paint an army faster than you, even after all that, everybody. That's right. Happy wargaming. Stay Stormcast strong. Good night, everybody.
Good night.